Hello everyone, and welcome to Wildermyth, where 1.0 has finally been released, as evidenced by all of the achievements I am now getting. It has been quite some time since our last game, and I finally have a period of time where I am not being surrounded by the noises of noisy children due to it being Father's Day and the kids spending the day with their father. I'm only now noticing that these guys are all together here. I did try to play a game where, with these group of people from, I think it was the end of the Morthagi campaign, the Enduring War. Okay, and yeah, so I turned literally everyone else unplayable. For that, because I just wanted to focus on that one group of people. I was intending to record that, and I did record it, but I did it in a way where I was going to do all the voice audio, like, post-recording, and do it like a film kind of thing. That just didn't work out. I couldn't, like, do it properly, and yeah. So I'm going to quickly re-enable everyone, and then we'll get right back into the new campaign, the All the Bones of Summer campaign, for centralized on the Drauven, the lizard people. So I'm gonna get done with this, and then I'll be right back. All right, so that is done. Everyone is now available. So we are going to start a new campaign with All the Bones of Summer. I have not played this campaign yet. This is my first time. I am going in blind. Let's see how far we can get in. All the Bones of Summer. Bones were buried here. Bones were burned in the ground where their beds all lie. All become fossils for fantasy. All become stories once true. They count on a dream as they spiral towards sleep. Fire follows fire until every color is ash. A 5-chapter story with Drauven as the main threat. So, I'm going to go Tragic Hero. I do not have the confidence to handle Walking Lunch. I think I kind of want to go Carved in Stone, but at the same time I worry that this might cause some issues, because if we fail, or if I want to go back and check on previous things. I'm just going to go Tragic Hero. Then I was going to go Carved in Stone, but one save file only. I like having the backup of all past save files, just because if I want to double check who was with me in chapter 1, then I can go and do that, and I can't do that in Carved in Stone. So, oh right, give me one moment. Okay, there we go. I went and downloaded Stanfried's Hair and Faces mod. It just adds in a whole bunch of additional hair and faces. So I thought, maybe we can get some new appearance characters out there. Ignore these two. I was trying to make a comic in the comic editor. Stanfried does it better. So I'm just gonna use Stanfried's Hair and Faces. So our characters will have possibly a little bit more variety than we're used to. So, let's see. Map seed. 10110010011001110. There, we are the binary map. There we go. Alright, here we go. So looks like we get exactly one legacy hero. Prodigal Parent, Friend, Hunter of Old Blood. Now, can we choose any hero? Okay, only Mystics. So what I want to do this campaign is kind of go for an all-male campaign. Because in our previous campaign, Baydellen's Badasses, we were going all-female. So I want to go all-male this time, just as like a counterbalance to that. So, right off the bat, I'm thinking Doris Lucenit, just because he is probably the most powerful male mystic we have. What's he like? He has a pet critter, a gem arm. Then again, though, in the dropped campaign, Dorgun Rus was one of them. Dorgun Rus is a hero from the Morthagi campaign that didn't really get a whole lot of attention, and I tried to bring in the campaign with him and the others of that group, but that campaign was scrapped. I lost the campaign anyways, so you know what? I think I'll bring in Dorgun Rus here. Give this guy a little bit of the spotlight. Some of the other characters probably won't get some of the spotlight, but we can give something to Dorgun here. So let's bring in Dorgun as the prodigal parent. Interesting. And we have 3 others. A hunter of the old blood, the friend, and the tough-lipped kid. Now let's hit randomize a couple times. There you go. Okay, so let's see. Baldric Fenspear. Barrick's birth brought a welcome stillness to the lives of his parents. His father was a quester of ordinary origins, but his mother was a monster hunter of the Fenspear bloodline. Theirs was a family old as fir trees, whose history was recorded in big black books. On their name hung the ghost of ancient deeds, among them the hunting and slaying of mighty dragons. The Fenspear family lodge sits a couple days' walk from Bottom Pixie, and Baldric Fenspear grew up between both places. He was a roof hunting climber who tended to scrap and scare other children. He had a big, sensitive heart, and his parents said they were worried and loved him. As he got older, he lived in town for whole seasons at a time, learning in the school, meeting merchants and their daughters, and hunting the hills and expending money. He spent most of his idle hours either alone or with the one friend from childhood who seemed to operate at his same level. The legacy of the Fenspears will lead Baldric to wonders, fears, and mysteries aplenty, and he's always known, somehow, that he'd one day pass on the blood to another. Destiny, Wildheart, and Nostalgic. And do I want to change his name at all? Baldric Fenspear is pretty good. And is this one of the custom, new hairstyles? Kinda looks like it. We got a whole bunch of new hairstyles. Okay, I'm just gonna guess it is, because I don't know. I actually do not know. A whole bunch of new faces, too, around here somewhere. On the one hand, I kind of like Baldric Fenspear. On the other hand, I do kind of want to add my own names, just so that there's less chance of adding other people coming in with characters with the same name. I've seen that happen a few times already, so hang on. Okay, I'm gonna have him as Baldric Fenspear. Fenspear is a pretty cool last name, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna rename him as Baldric. And then here we have Renwar. No, hang on. We can do better. Powda Hellion. A gaunt, grim boy showed up one night to the camp of a small, poor performing troupe. A teenager with his infant brother Powda in tow. The two stayed in the back of the cart on the road, but it was only shortly thereafter, passing through Bottom Pixie, that the older boy succumbed to an illness of the blood and was buried there. 2 dancers decided to quit the traveling life then, and they settled down and adopted Powda as their son. Raising him in Bottom Pixie above a rope and ribbons shop, they were able to open up and keep afloat. Despite the circumstances that brought him to his eventual home and family, Powda's childhood was happy. He was a lanky boy, but grew into a muscular and healthy frame, much to the relief of his adoptive mothers. He brought a natural sense of humor to everything he did. One day, he picked up a broom handle and started sparring with the trees. Soon he was training with others and competing in tourneys, honing his skill and body for little practical reason, aside from the fact that he enjoyed it. Loyal in his bones and prepared for life turns, he'll find himself thrown into challenges he never imagined, but meeting them with courage he feels deep down is fed by his resting brother's love. Nostalgic, physical, and loyal. Excellent. And finally, the tough-lipped kid. Woen Fimwor will be his name. Woen enjoyed no coddling and little love as a boy. His father left when he was still very young, and the mother who remained became a hopeless drunk. Even as a boy, he worked wherever folks could find a gentle use for his labor. Bottles absorbed whatever charity came their way. It was several old militiamen who first gave him the idea of becoming a fighter. They were who he'd worked beside his whole life. They started holding little impromptu sparring matches for the Bone Slim stakes, and Woen showed a promise, even while he was still growing into his body. After a couple years, he started fighting in tourneys, and, adding prize money to his working wages, was able to move out of his soon-to-be estranged mom's house. A journey to distant places always seemed to be just on the horizon for Woen. Just after the harvest pay, or the next, but when the father who'd left him suddenly showed up one day, it would mark the start of that endless, harrowing, joyous road, and the rest of his life. Gritty, potential, and slacker. And let's recap on Dorgun Rus, our mystic, who didn't get to do much of anything in our Bonebreakers campaign. How unfortunate! Where Dorgun grew up, all the girls were raised not to bed until the age of 30. It became obvious that he would leave early. Sitting in treetop one full moon's night, he heard a great wolf howl and for hours without answer. That memory would haunt him long through his life. Though he tended to be scornful of do-gooders and civic heroes, he never showed or stopped fighting. Inaction, he felt, paves the road by which evil rides. Flirt, distant, and integrity. Following the charred trail of young mistake, he's wandered over half the world before finally coming home, where his son doesn't know him, but where a fateful fair day will change the course of living for them all. Okay, so he's, this must be the other guy's son then. Or father then. Okay, well, so it makes sense that I feel that they have different last names, because the kid wouldn't grow up with this guy. So, probably maybe picked up his mother's name, or just got his own name. Okay, so this was not the Bonebreakers campaign, this was the Enders of Horn, the deepest campaign. The Freeing Wind was the campaign I tried to play with him and, several others, but that did not go too well. I still have the footage, I might share it someday, but it has no voice audio. Okay, and with everyone in place, let's get started. Hearts on a fair day. A mountain should have opened its jaws to swallow you. With that much consequence, it would have made more sense. Instead, there was only a smell, and it rose from you. There was me and your body, then me and your bones. Now I send your word aloft on the smoke that was once your breath. Scrock, scrape! Tonight I begin the endeavor you thought we'd complete together. I know our maps, our myths, our every calculation. I hold them in me, but I'm frail where you are strong. I'm fit best for teaching, yet I have no pupil. So it's down to me, down to Vistral, last and least feather of a hope. For our failed people. Shortly after dawn, the far fairground stirs with cheery morning noise. Excitement jolts and shakes around the grass blades. Baldric's cooking pot creaks on its fixture, nuzzled by the wind. This mock fighting stuff, rules and facing each other and all. Not how a real fight goes, not in my experience. Know who you drew for the final? A big guy, name's Woen Fimwor, see him around town. Supposed to be strong, but easy to fool. I saw him surrounded by young women. Definitely has a certain flair. Sounds like you admire the guy. Someone who uses their charms for favor, not for silliness. How's my morning stew smell? That stew? Smells like a wrestler's worst parts. The fair comes each year to Fen Britannia, heralding winter. Sets up half a day from town of Scafferwick in a comfortable basin between grassy hills. With it comes hawkers of fair-born goods, bell-voiced storytellers, corn crooks, and distractions of all kinds. Rock! Easy on the smoke, kids! Kids? Got any good insults I can pull out? Hoping to be as irksome as I can. Yeah, sorry. Realize you want to focus on the fight. For a second I imagined what we'd do if that were a real dragon, like in my stories. My family has books that are very old. Anyway, you'll do fine. Perhaps the most famous and eagerly awaited of all the events at the Rook Wandering Fair is the tournament. Experts and amateurs in 10 combat disciplines come to bash their way up the rankings. Some folks delight in the show. Gamblers seize shifting odds and leave rejoicing or tightening their belts. Still waiting on Powda Hellion. Stave sparring. Excellent news, I am he. I remember you, mug. Here, sign on the thing. The line, you mean? Is your name Woen Fimwor? Why, did I flirt with your lady? I'm Baldric. You're going against my friend here. So you're trying to get in my head. I know I seem tender and easy to saddle up to, but there's parts of me that are cinders, waiting for the gust of battle to blow them alight. You be careful. Alright, this is the final bout for a staff. You both know the rules? Let's get going. Sure, yep. Had it hard, that boy. Father was forced to leave him, go far away. And the one left to raise him wasn't up to the task. The two combatants face each other. You look like a man who doesn't come home often. They say, on a fair day, hearts can open. The bell clangs, they begin to circle. And as the fight swirls, gathering energy, Baldric's struck by a lightning thought. Eck, clack. He has to confess his heart to Powda. Today. I decided I'd do it today. Stick fights are boring. Something about this Woen awakens longing. That man's lips, they look so... This is a good question. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm not sure if I should do this, but I got a little dice, and I think it's going to tell us what we should do. He has to confess his heart to Powda. Today. I decided I'll do it today. Honestly, that's the one I was voting for myself, so... Woen Fimwor, 25-year-old warrior. Well, may as well just go in. Go get him, Powda! Kick his ass! Oh, that's bad. Oh, right, we have range, huh? Well, you know what? Just... Meh! It's an even fight! They're trading blows! Come on. There we go. So far, so basically the same. Hey, try this, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Come on, Powda, you got this! Got your back in a corner. He has to pass you. Ah, so close. It's a harrowing matchup. There, but Powda takes the lead. Woen sinks to the ground, wobbling and wretched face. The sighs and cheers of onlookers mingle. The match is decided. Winner, Powda Hellion. Scritch scribble. Powda can seem like a clown, but he wanted this. No shame in losing to him. Your Powda's real strong, real balanced. Well done to him. I was supposed to show you how much I didn't need you. The audience clears out quickly, summoned away by the prospect of other spectacles. And now a prize for our stave sparring champion. Cut from the stone hardiest fire oak tree in the north. Ooh, nice. Then painstakingly shaped by the silent and sultan-haired masters living tall on ocean-torn cliffs, descendants of seafaring people. Yes, I present you with this oft-overlooked weapon of the hero's cannon, the Elnish War Staff. Isn't it extra stone-hardy? And very smooth, I think. Yeah, it is very smooth. Don't worry, that little branch-swinging game doesn't matter. I walked countless miles across unnumbered and unmapped borders. I came back in order to... I really don't want this right now. Following Powda's victory, he and Baldric rove the fair. Well, now you can stop focusing on that stupid staff fight and start having a good time, right? It's you and me and the fairground. Tent to tent, they sift through adventuring antiques and handcrafted ornaments. Faraway smells blow in every bright canvas. Outlandish sights abound wherever their eyes wander. Clicks. Oh my god, it's a Morthagi, run! And they can follow the laughter to find sweet foods and cups of joy. The better part of the day disappears, and they find themselves sidling in with crowds to see the fair's final show. It's supposed to be quite good this year. Anticipatory murmurs flow amongst the attendees. Even a tinge of unacknowledged terror is there. It's soon obvious why. What is it? He's a Drauv. Careful. They find seats near a pair of familiar faces. Mumble. Afternoon sun bakes their necks. At last, the Fairmaster's face pops into view. You appear to be waiting for someone. Ha! I'm kidding, of course. Here I am, flesh and steel, Knight of the Nightless Star, Athen Rook. Renowned warrior Athen Rook, retired though he may be, still possesses remarkable agility. We of the Wook-Wandering Fair thank you humbly for filling our quaint tents with life these past 3 days. Surely you came hearing rumors from travelers who saw us in summer and fall. Did you wonder if such a thing might be? Now you can see the truth for yourself. You gaze on my pride and crowning achievement, the diamond I've been 15 years in craving. Behold! This is Thuvyan. So was the beast named by a warlord who wore the femurs of our fellows on its neck. Named by a warlord whose head I claimed, and tail split, and body stomped to mulch. On its pup, I showed mercy. Mercy, huh? Oh, I was advised to put it down, but instead I caged it. I took the monster alive, its name intact, beneath my own roof. I fed it, clothed it, I tamed it. And should you doubt my word... A collective gasp arises as the creature easily removes a bar of its prison and steps free. He let everyone walk right up to it. Don't let it frighten you, friends. Thuvyan may be the spawn of a Drauven warlord, tremendously huge and mighty, yes, but he does as I command. He reaches for a spear that they'd supposed, thus far, to be no more than a prop. And so I give you, snag, toss, the most thrilling, chilling, and realistic reenactment of our battles against the Drauven that anyone has ever witnessed. The Fairmaster pauses to let stunned eyes refocus. Existence itself seems to be caught staring. Then the two combatants level their weapons. And they clash! The fight must be staged, but the Fairmaster's performance is convincing as he sends the large Drauv to the ground. To tame Thuvyan was not an easy task. But there is language in all creatures to understand, and Drauven better than most. It is called pain! Yeah! I've fought Drauven my whole career. Even the strongest and most cunning I cut down. There are no mysteries left in them for me. Soon you will see that they are not so scary as you entered this arena supposing. What? I'm not watching this. The Drauven rises, gathers, waits for the Fairmaster's signal to attack. Athen Rook clicks his tongue, and the Drauven rushes forward at the theater speed. His course is straight and obvious. But at that moment... Scrack! Scrack! What's... Yeah... Ugh! There's no pulse of clarity for the Fairmaster, Ashen Rook. He falls dead. The great sword drops from already loosening fingers. Every present pair of lungs holds still. Good gargumph! The Drauven bends for the sword and runs. Peace shatters then. Bodies flood the paths. As people flee and fires spit and fly above the forest of tents, Drauven battle cries, foreign to most ears, riddle the air, blending with it the screams of fairgoers and fair workers. It's a choir of violence. Time to see if this staff's the real deal. Don't have anything to swing. My bow's back at camp. Need weapons? I can hopefully protect you if you can follow and find some pretty quick. Then we'll see who we can save. All agreed? I'm not afraid. I'm ready to smell a roast lizard. This would be where I cut it off, but we did go through like 15 minutes of just making characters and introductions, so screw it, we're gonna go long. We're gonna go a little bit long today. Hopefully not an hour, but we'll see. Baldric has grown stronger. Quelling Moss, Flash Cone. Let's go with Flash Cone. Powda. His Guardian. Fury by Wounds. Okay, Sentinel sounds good for you. You would definitely go Blood Rage, I feel. Woen. Alright. Find weapons for Baldric and Woen. Defeat the Drauven Raiders. More are coming. Looks like we gotta go over here. Okay. You can interfuse. Grab that fence and throw it at the Drauven. Okay, it's cowering. Excellent. Baldric, put it out! Woen, you follow behind him. Maybe we can move one of those fires later. And use Powda, you step forward and make sure that nothing comes from the other end. Just like that. Okay, Get that fire out of here! Alright, Warren, can you go past? You can. Arming in the ashes. Yeah, here, Baldric. Shingle for a company called Green Tree Arms. Actually, a nice bow here. And arrows. Baldric, this way! Across the fairground, canvases sag and tall poles topple. Terrible things happen behind the smoke, announced only by the noise of gurgling death and triumphing hollers. Screech! Scrack! And this is something I could probably get the hang of. Retreat is already part of the plan, but they'll guard their flank. We want to know how budding heroes bloom? This is it. Alright, let's get Baldric over there. That's good. He's able to grab something. Excellent. Take it out! Okay, and let's move you forwards. Try and regroup. Okay, we got Dart. I'm worried about Powda here. Okay, there's a stump now. Excellent. Dorgun. Can he do this again? Ah, well, I found the stump. What's your abilities again? Spear Blade. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yes. Okay, that one. Okay, well, you know what? Shred that armor, I think. Can you take it from range? No. Okay, well, in that case, why don't you hide? And then we'll have you take the lead and Powda get up just behind. I am concerned about Powda's health here. He's kind of low. Aha! Take that! Okay, we got more coming. The Drauven aren't holding back. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. Okay. Interfuse with that. That'll give these guys Spirit Blade. And... interfuse with that for later. Yeah, you know what? Do this. Ah, dang it. Didn't work. Okay. Woen, can you grab this? No. Darn. Basically, balls. Alright, well, Sentinel. Maybe that'll help some. I fear the stump may get Powda here. Okay, no, he's going for Baldric. Oh, Baldric, no! Oh, a raid knight. Okay, you know what? Powda and Baldric, you guys are going for this one. Yeah, you know what? Group up. There we go. Woen and Dorgun, you guys need to go for that raid knight. We can't let that thing get to us. That's not going to help too much here. Okay, you know what? Let's just Spirit Blade then. And, I guess move back here. Try and stay safe. Okay. Oof. That looks bad. You can't really help here, unfortunately. Okay, you Sentinel. Baldric. We need an arrow. We need to flank. Woen, now's your chance. There we go. Ah, balls. Constrict! This doesn't look good. Woen, no! Woen's hair stands on end just before the arrow connects. But it takes his mind a split second to catch up, and by then, it's too late. Maybe Dorgun can get this out later. Might as well help him on speed this campaign. If I can stay alive until then. Woen snaps off the shaft and disappears as best he can. Not a good start. Stop doing that! Flank him! Flank him, goddammit! Flank him! Flank him! Okay, there we go. Ooh, that could have gone better, but we're okay in the end. For the most part. Fire follows fire. Black tears drip from chins, from the smoke-stained faces of survivors who huddle staring. Woen, that was fine work. The full horror won't be known until all the blazes burn out. Fire crouches in the ribs of shredded tents, feasting on fine goods, making ash of art. Yoy! Baldric, what are you seeing? May our bodies be earth-eaten and feed the ants, your death shrouds lay heavy on you, root and rock. It was cowardly and a cruel attack, but you know what? I blame that boasting Fairmaster just as much. You're feeling it, and I know, and I'm feeling it too. I'll draw you a map on my stomach, and you can try and figure it all out with sticks and rocks. Let's do that in a safer spot, yeah? What does that even mean? Okay. I'm pissed, though. This place was supposed to be a happy memory. I was going to kiss you. Hey, I'm already going to marry you, remember? Everyone already knows that, so stop sulking. The thing to decide on now is how to begin. Evening's near. The knife-shaped moon briefly shines, then gets swallowed in grey. My husband? And my sister? Didn't find any others. They might be around. Lots of land to cover. What took you two so long? Night smooths the world with shadows, leaving a cool blankness where black creases had caught the eye. A windstorm swoops fiercely over the plains, but they're able to camp in the shelter of some trees. They listen to it blow, and listen to the crickets in whistling grass. Did a perimeter like you told me, Dorgun. And did some of your double backs, Baldric. These Drauven are gone. Of course they're gone. Wouldn't have sent you alone if I had any doubt. Oh wow, you got me on that one then. Pretty good trick for an old guy. I'm still young. Anyway, you look like you wanted to be busy. No one has to listen to him, you know? Miserable father. Probably not the right person to take direction from. Have to listen to someone, though. Dorgun got us all out of there, alive. But my dad... Dorgun isn't doing anything without a reason. Why don't we let him tell us what really brought him here? In time for the show. Maybe I'll go look for Drauven again. Woen's... Yes, I did come home only to reconnect with my son. But you can afford to hear the details as we go. Go where? Dorgun wants me to follow them. The Drauven. Dorgun wants me to follow them. The Drauven who fled. And I said yes, because rewind the names of any gods listening would I say no. And I'd hate to be left behind if I was you, either of you. But I wouldn't have looked for a conventional tracker, but Baldric's family is unique. It felt fortuitous. The next day sees them already embarking over the grasslands. Prints are scarce and muddled here. Seems to have purposely staged a split where the ground's hard. They left the survivors of the fair organized and guided by the most sensible hands among them, themselves recipients of Dorgun's parting direction. Feels like it's about time to name this little group, right? Something of a tradition. Have to make it one that captures imaginations, of course. A beautiful name. When the name gets famous, it'll get you indoors, get you seated at tables, maybe get you into a few locked hearts and the laps they belong to. They path forward in long silence. Then... It's that night, as they're stewing bird's meat in a wild dug roots, that an idea sticks. The Moose People. What? He always likes to suggest something moose. Don't worry. Best so far is the Vanguard of the Bull. The Council of Eternity I could get behind. No one like the Hood of Shayala? Since we're going for an all-male campaign today, I think the fitting name would be the Bronze Brotherhood. So named after, I don't know, the bronze-ish scales of some Drauven. It's a bit of a stretch. I'm not sure why bronze is in there, but I wanted something with Brotherhood or fraternity or something like that. So the Bronze Brotherhood, it works. So begin the tales of the Bronze Brotherhood. The Bronze Brotherhood, you know, I actually liked it. Wait, really? It's pretty memorable. Summer follows spring, follows winter, follows fall. Shadows follow moonrise, follows sunshine, follows squall. And fire, one day, follows fire. And with that, everyone, I think that is an excellent place to leave off for today. So, thank you ever so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you liked it. Don't if you didn't. This has been Wildermyth. Something Bones. The Bones of Summer. With Dorgun Rus. Dorgun Rus, Powda Hellion, Woen Fimwor, and Baldric Fenspear. And this is the Bronze Brotherhood. And I will see you next time. Farewell.